Hey guys, this is Jake, and in this video, I wanted to go over a blueprint for creating a successful e-commerce store. Now, the point of this video is going to kind of outline the process that you would be taking from absolute beginner in the very beginning to starting out, all the way to the end point of an e-commerce. This video is just going to be showing you an outline of the typical path that you're going to take along the journey and the different skills you're going to have to learn, and we're going to dive a little bit into each one as we go. So what I want you guys to take away from this video is, I guess, the order in which you should be learning different skill sets, and then the order in which you should be applying these skill sets to your store, because I know a lot of people they don't know what to do first, they don't know what to learn first, and they kind of do things in a non-organized fashion, and it's really hard to grow a business like that. So this is going to be the six-figure e-com store blueprint, and this is going to be for long-term results, not short-term churn and burn type of stuff. So in the beginning, obviously you learn things like the basics. So you just learn how e-commerce works, you look at other stores, you're going to be just seeing how the business model itself works. And I'm sure most people watching this video already know the basics of how e-commerce works, because all it is product selling online. So once you know the basics and you've decided that you want to start an e-commerce store, the next thing that you would be doing is going into niche selection, which is where you decide on which products you want to sell. So you could sell t-shirts, you could sell products off AliExpress, you could sell products from AliExpress or Alibaba with your logo on it. You could brand your logo and things like that. A lot of the times you're not going to start out like that in the beginning, because you want to confirm that the niche is going to be profitable, a good niche to go into. But most of the time, you're going to know if it's going to be good going in, because if there's competitors selling in it, then you know that it's working for them. So if you do things right, it can work for you. So the first thing you'd be doing when starting a e-com store is obviously deciding what to sell. And there's a lot of content on YouTube, especially on our channel, that can show you how to find these niches and products to sell, and I'll put those links in the description. So after you select your niche, you know what you want to sell. The next thing you need to do is set up your store. And this is where a lot of people mess up, because a lot of people, they set up a very lackluster store. Their store essentially, to put it lightly, it looks like crap. And this is where a lot of people mess up, because they think that, oh, I have a good product, I can just send traffic to my store and it'll sell. I don't have to make my store look good. But that's just not true. So when you're setting up your store, this is usually going to be one of the longest parts. It's going to take a few hours to get a properly set up store, because you want to make sure it looks professional. You want to make sure it has clear, professional HD images and everything like that. So this is a very crucial step to make sure you do properly. So after you've selected your products and you've loaded your products into your store, you then have to get traffic to your store, because obviously your store isn't going to do you any good if no one is there to buy your products. So here are some common traffic sources in e-com. Facebook is one of the most common traffic sources. Facebook ads. There's also a lot of videos on our channel that teach you how to use Facebook ads. Google AdWords is another traffic source, and AdWords are the ads that show up on the top and the bottom of Google search results when you search for specific phrases. And also YouTube ads is a part of AdWords, because Google owns YouTube. And then another traffic source is SEO, so this is ranking your website organically in Google, and this usually takes a little bit longer, but it's a very good traffic source for long-term consistent traffic. Pinterest is another good traffic source. Instagram is a really popular traffic source. You can run ads on Instagram through Facebook, or you can create branded Instagram accounts and gain a following, or you can actually do Instagram influencers and get shout outs and things like that. And then there's a lot of other traffic sources, but these are the main 5 that are being used right now. So once you have your products, you have your store, and your store is getting traffic, most likely you're going to start to get sales within this period. Now, this period is going to be a lot of trial and error, and you're most likely going to lose a bit of money. You're going to go a little negative in the beginning when you're testing out different types of traffic and you're seeing if your products and stuff are good. And sometimes if you get to this point and your products aren't selling, then sometimes you need to go back to make sure your store is set up properly and looks nice. And if you've done everything correctly, then sometimes maybe your products just are not a good fit for the target audience and you need to try other products. Or maybe it's just a bad niche and you need to go back up to this step to restart. But assuming that you've had a good niche, your store looks good, and the traffic's working out and you're making sales, so as soon as you're starting to hit a little bit of profitability or even break even, the next step is email marketing. So every time someone puts their email in to buy a product on your site, you get their email and you can contact them at any time you want. So you can send them emails in the future, giving them coupon codes to entice them to come back to your store or anything like that. You can send them anything you want. I'm sure you've bought things from online stores before. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video has bought from Amazon, and you're on Amazon's email list, so you probably get emails a few times a week from Amazon that are offering you products similar to the ones you bought before. So these are the type of emails you can be sending out through email marketing. And email marketing is a great way to supplement your income long term and actually have a sustainable business. Once you've set up your email marketing, you're usually going to start setting up advanced branding tactics. So at this stage of your store, you're going to try and do things to make your brand iconic within your niche and make it stand out among others. So this is the point where you want to separate your store from all of your competitors, so that way you are the go-to person in the niche. So if you're in the fishing niche or you sell fishing lures, then whenever someone thinks about buying fishing lures, you want your brand to immediately pop up in their head. So that's the type of thing you'd be doing here, is you'd be setting up advanced branding like that so you can essentially take over the niche that you're in. And then beyond that, you're going to want to start outsourcing some of the work so that you free up some of your time to do more important things or to just have free time if you want it. So you can use virtual assistants to do this, or you can build an in-house team if you choose, and you'll just outsource tasks like order fulfillment, customer support. You can even outsource ad campaigns and things like that. So you can pretty much outsource the majority of the work, but you don't want to do this until you have a proven business model that's already profiting, because you have to be able to know how everything works in order to know what to expect from the person that you are outsourcing the task to. So you want to make sure you know how to do everything first before you outsource it. So at this point in the journey of the e-com store, you can see you've come a pretty long way so far. You've learned the basics, you've selected products, you set up your store, you got traffic, you're profiting, you set up your email marketing, you're establishing a brand to become the authority in your niche, and your store is starting to become more automated because you've had people doing some of the more menial tasks. So at this point, if you're selling like an AliExpress product, you can start doing, instead of drop shipping it from China or wherever, at this point you're going to want to start to order your products in bulk, and then you don't have to ship them yourself, but at this point you'd be using a fulfillment center. So if you're in the US, you'd just use a local fulfillment center in the US, and the reason you do this is because your shipping times will no longer be 2 weeks, they'll be anywhere from 2 to 5 days, so you can actually offer legitimate times. And it's really hard to become that brand authority, like I said up here, without doing this. So this could actually be put within the advanced branding section, because it's really hard to become an authority within your niche if you have 2 to 3 week shipping times. So you don't need to do this in the beginning, because you want to test and confirm the niche. But after you've done that and you're profiting and you have a sustainable business, then it is really important to get to the next level to have fast, reliable shipping times, because when people can go on Amazon and get free 2-day shipping, they pretty much expect that from every other e-com store. So this is an important step to take after you've done everything above it. And then the last thing we have on here is selling your store. So this is optional, but selling your store is a nice way to end off a successful journey of growing an e-commerce store, because you've built a profitable, sustainable business, and then you can sell it off for a good amount of money and then use that money to reinvest into whatever you want. Or you can just keep building your brand and try and build it into a massive, dominating brand authority within your niche. So selling your store is obviously optional, but it is something that you can keep in mind. So e-commerce stores are always good when it comes to having an exit plan, because as long as it's a profitable, sustainable business, you can always sell your store. So obviously this video probably leaves people with a lot of questions, because this was just a basic overview of the path that you'll be taking if you decide to create an e-commerce store. And the point of this video wasn't to explain everything in depth, but just to give you a basic overview, a map basically that you'd be following, because all of this information is available on our channel or in our course. So the point of this video is just to help give you a roadmap to follow, so that way you don't feel lost when you're deciding what should I be doing next. So bookmark this video if you need to come back to it if you ever feel like you don't know what you need to do next to get your store to the next level, because this is pretty much the exact blueprint that most e-com business owners are following.